Hello! I think I should be live now. I think I should be live now. I should have gone live. I've just put out a tweet to say I'm live and I'm doing this. This is back to the Ring Shuffler. Hello, my name is Alistair. I'm checking I'm on stream right now. Let's do all the setup and stuff. There we go. I can see my little face on the stream, so everything must be going well. I've not streamed Sonic in a while, and I wanted to stream Sonic again because it's fun. And as you know, I mean, if you've watched this channel before, you know I don't like to do things the normal way. So I've set it up. It's a little thing called the Ring Shuffler. It is a hack of BizHawk that I made that makes it so that in a variety of Sonic games and other similar games like Mario games and stuff like that, we'll stick with Sonic for the time being. Every time Sonic gets a ring, it will switch game. And what I've done is I've decided to queue up 5 copies of what, in my opinion, is the best game with the Shuffler, and that's Sonic Advance 2 on the Game Boy Advance. So what you're seeing now, this is one of 5 copies of Sonic Adventure 2 that I've got loaded up in the emulator, and once I hit start, every time I get a ring, it's going to switch to a random one of the other 6 copies of the game. So I'm going to have other 4. I've got one for Sonic, one for Tails, one for Cream, one for Knuckles, and one for Amy. And we're going to see how long it takes me to beat all of these. Up above my head, I have a timer. So you can have a look and see how long it's taken me to do. And oh, I've positioned it nicely so that it looks like I'm looking at the game. So I feel very clever about that. Let's bring up the thing. I feel about ready to start, so let's bring this into focus. Hello, Black Doom. Good to see you. I am doing very well, thank you. Very well, thank you very much. Yeah, all going well. Now, why is my controller not connecting? This might be an interesting thing. I might need to switch controllers. Let's try the Saturn controller. This one is plugged in. Okay, let's just go to the config for this. Up, down, left, right. Start. B-A-L-R. Ooh, wow, what have I done now? Start, select. B-A-L-R. There we go. But yeah, no, I've been well. I mean, things have been all go at the moment. So I have been, basically, some really good news has come through. So, our Bartholomew video has been selected for 2 games festivals this year. So, Indiecade, which takes place, it's run out of Los Angeles. It's an online festival this year, but it's a nominee, so that's exciting. I've been out to LA a couple of times for that festival, and it's really, really good. So, to have our Bartholomew video selected for that is really cool. As is Play Festival out in Hamburg, which is another one of my favourite festivals. So I was actually going to be already going out there to do a live stage performance. So I'm working hard on a new live stage performance for them at the moment. And our Bartholomew video got selected for their awards this year. So it's a double fun time this year. So, yeah, it's all pretty exciting, all going well and excitingly. So, I mean, in celebration, let's start shuffling. So, hopefully, it should all work out so that when I collect a ring, it's going to switch me to the character select for the next character. And that character is going to be Cream. And then when Cream gets a ring... Oh, I need to start the timer. There we go. Started the timer. I've got this all figured out. There we go. Now let's get Tails in. But yeah, no, it's really, really exciting. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. So I'll be doing some more after all the new streams soon. Next weekend, I'm planning to do a stream to test out the new material for Play Festival. And, yeah, apart from that, and I've also, because for Indiecade, I do an interview stream for them on their Twitch channel every, I wonder when the Amy one's going to come up. We should have it come up eventually. I mean, it's strange that the Amy one isn't coming up. Maybe it's not in the shuffler. Maybe if I switch into Amy. That's weird. Okay. Amy is just shuffling immediately out to whatever's meant to not... Okay, let's toggle out everything except Amy. Okay, this is interesting. So I tested it out when there were only 2, and it's decided that the Amy game and the Sonic game are the same one. So let's see. Okay, maybe if I just reset this one.
Amy!
And there we go. And now we switch everything back on. And it's like nothing ever happened. There we go. 5 characters. The game is on. We've got 5 characters. But yeah, it's exciting times because I am, it's fun to be testing out new material. So yeah, that's going to be next weekend. Probably 4 PM Central Europe time on Saturday is when I'm going to be doing that. And then the games might be a bit too loud. Thank you for that. Let's turn them down a notch. Let's see how that is. Let me know how that is. Is that any better? I might have taken it too quiet. So let me know if that's any improvement or if it's worse. Much better. Fantastic. But yeah, so it's all go at the moment, so I guess that's part of why I've been kind of quiet lately, is because I've been quite busy with that. The new, particularly the new material for the Play Festival show has been quite a bit of work, because I want to make something new for them. Because the idea with that is that everybody at the festival is going to be able to contribute stuff in the week leading up to the show, and then the show is like the 4th of November, and on show day, everybody gets to, what happens on show day? This is the bit I've remembered. It's really hard to talk and play this at the same time. But it's, on show day I'm going to be, I've made a game like the Up All New video game, so it's all based on creativity and stuff, but it's using all these creative suggestions that people have been suggesting over the course of a week-long festival. So that's going to be really exciting. So they're going to have visitors live at the location in Hamburg, and then they're going to have visitors because they've got an online component, so I have visitors in the online component. And all of these people will be able to go onto a page on the Play Festival website and access the, I call it the Ultimate Tournament. So, I mean, I'm picturing, if you've ever seen the Ultimate Showdown, that, music video. It's that kind of thing. I want to get people coming up with characters and special moves for things, and then putting them, all of these weird character ideas, into a kind of Pokemon-style battles that we're going to act out on stage. So I will get members of the audience or members of the staff to come up, take cardboard cutouts, and pretend to be all of these wacky, colourful characters that the audience have suggested. So I have no idea if it will be any good, which is why I want to do some test sessions before I go out. So I'm basically going to try and perform the role of all the audience members as a kind of one-man theatre crew or something. But then that's the fun of it. If it works, hopefully I'll figure out what works and what doesn't work for one of me, and that'll help inform what works and what doesn't work when it's a whole room full of people. So I'm looking forward to that, and there's been a lot of nice kind of hackery about it. And because it's a live show, and it's like, I'm not kind of, you know, like the rest of the Follow Me video stuff is free for people to download if they want to. So that kind of limits the kind of content I can put in there. Like, I have to choose, you know, royalty-free music or pay someone to, you know, license music from them or get them to write music for me or something. With this show, because it's like one of these one-off things that's going to be at this one festival and then never seen again, I don't think anyone will mind if I use my favorite, like, Pokemon and Street Fighter music as backing music for it. So, mixed in with all of the coding and stuff has been me picking out, oh, you know what my favorite Pokemon battle themes are, and things like that. So, it's been a good laugh. It's been a very, very good laugh. So, yeah. All very exciting times right now. But yeah, Sonic Advance 2 being fairly straightforward right now. It's one of these games that I remember from doing this with the, like, 16-game shuffler. Once the bosses appear, it becomes a bit nightmarish. And then once the grind rails appear, like, it's grind rails over bottomless pits. Once that starts happening, that's when it becomes really nightmarish. So, this is the nice warm-up level to get us all ready for the actual Havoc. So it should be fun. Hello everyone who's just joining. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, this is Sonic Advance 2 on the Game Boy Advance. I've got 5 copies of it, one for each character in the game. Every time I collect a ring, it switches to a different copy of the game, and the challenge is to try and beat all 5 copies of the game. You've never played the Advance games, you need to fix it. You do need to fix it. They are really, really good. I really like the Advance games. So yes, every time I get a ring, it switches to a different version. So I've played Sonic Advance 2 a couple of times with the shuffler. One time I did the 3 Sonic Advance games in the shuffler. And once I did it as part of a shuffler with 16 different games in it. And Sonic Advance 2 is the most brutal of the series. It's quite straightforward now in these easy levels, but as it goes on, it's going to get ever so slightly more nasty. So right now it's just a bit of murder on the eyes for me, but as it goes on, we're going to start seeing a bit more difficulty. So we've already got one person through. Hello, Argic! Good to see you. I am doing very well, thank you. Very, very well. So, I've got the shuffler up. I've got my favourite shuffler game going on. And it's been good. It's nice to be doing some Sonic stuff again. I was telling people earlier, I've been busy working on some new live stream stuff for a games festival out in Hamburg. So that's part of why I've been a bit quieter recently, because I've been kind of knuckling down on that. But that is now at a stage where I'm about ready to test it out with a real live audience, which means I can relax a bit and get my stress from another source. But yeah, Sonic Advance 2 is, I may have just said this, is the most brutal out of the Sonic games that I've played with the Ring Shuffler before. It's, which is why I thought, well, why do one copy of Sonic Advance 2 when you can do 5? So yeah, no, it's exciting times. How are you doing yourself? So right now it looks like Tails and Amy are in the lead. It'll be interesting to see who wins, which character ends up at the end of the game first. So that'll be an interesting one to decide. I have my guesses, but I'll be honest, I think I know who's going to come first. I have no idea about the others. I think the others is down to total randomness. Pure chaos, just the way I like it. because it's hard to see if any one particular character is better suited to this than any of the others. I mean, at the moment, I don't feel too much like I'm being slowed down by hitting the rings, at all. So I'm happy to just keep on holding right and let the game take its course. Once we get to the more the more hazardous sections, like bosses and big bottomless pits, that's when this is going to come into its own, and I think I'm going to start using the character's powers a bit more. Like, I mean, I barely even used Tails' fight, so obviously, this feels like a good way to avoid collecting rings, which I should probably start making use of. This is probably the speedrunning tactic for me to use. We are trying to improve your speedruns. What are you running at the moment? Because I saw you've been doing, was it Spark the Electric Jester 3? Is that right? So this is Cream over the line? Yeah. How's that coming along? Has that game only just come out recently? Are you kind of rooting it as well as trying to practice to run?
3, 2, 1, go!
But yeah, good. I mean, this is good. See, good opportunity. See, this is making me start to think that Tails might be the first one along the line. Tails and Cream, I think, are the ones who are going to have the easiest time. And my gut feeling is Tails is going to come first because... Sorry, Cream's going to come first because she can use Chow against the bosses. So, that's, I think, going to make a big difference. But yeah, alright, so it's only been out for a few weeks. And you're looking for level routes, trying to find out the fastest act. I mean, it must be an exciting time to be part of a speedrun, to sort of be in at the ground, finding all this stuff for the first time, and being the first person to figure out lots of the tricks and stuff. It's like a whole new challenge, so I can appreciate that. That must be quite a fun thing to be doing. That's awesome. What's it like as a game casually? I haven't played any of the Spark the Electric Jester games. We've officially got Tails as the first character to get to a boss. It's the easier one, but rings will keep on switching you out of the boss. So this is the thing I remember from doing this in previous shufflers, is the fact that you will keep on getting thrown out of the boss and then have to come in with like a second to react. That's where it gets nasty. Okay, so Spark is a lot like this, which is good because I like games that are like this. Right. So do they play like? I mean, do they feel like to play? Do they feel a lot like something like Sonic Adventure, or do they have a kind of different feel to them? So a lot like Adventure. Alright. I'm curious. I'm going to have to check these out. Because, I mean, they certainly all sound like my kind of thing. So there we go. Tails passed the first boss. So Tails currently in the lead. I haven't had a massive number of opportunities to use, like, Tails' Cream's flying ability. So I suspect Cream's probably going to catch up now that I've twigged that I can use that. Worth a playthrough. Story is a bit daft, but the gameplay is solid. I mean, the story's a bit daft in Sonic Adventure 1 as well. So, you know, bit of a daft story is, I don't know, that to me is about right for something that plays like Sonic Adventure. I'm generally not someone who's really that fussed about story. Like, if it's a game where the story is the main thing, like a kind of, like a kind of, I'm trying to think, like, you know, like an RPG or like an art game or something like that, it's nice. But usually I'm happy for story to just be kind of like background flavor. Yeah, so, who is going to be next across the line? I can't remember where exactly I am in the level. I guess these are kind of levels that I don't know massively well. But it's interesting now that we've got different characters in different levels now. So that's a kind of a nice, fun change of pace. I wonder if we're going to get, like, a point where we've got 3 different zones or 4 different zones in play, or if everyone's going to be roughly on the same zone throughout the run. But is this going to be... This feels like the end of a level. It is. So Knuckles next across the line. How's he going to fare against the boss? Only time will tell. So let's take on this boss, see how he does. I mean, obviously I'm going to want at least 1 ring for safety. But then I wonder if I can use a glide to fly over a lot of these. Or fly straight into them. That's also an option. He doesn't seem to be able to glide faster than the screen scrolls. So that's, I suspect I might be playing him just like I play Sonic. Sonic is next. Sonic's onto the boss. Hello, Dennis. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you. How have you been? Oh, wow. No, Sonic's not onto the boss yet. He's not even finished the first level. So that's a new one. So Sonic is definitely lagging behind at the moment. But he does have the air dash on the bosses, so that's going to be useful. Knuckles doesn't have that, so it might be that Knuckles could be the slowest character. And then, hello, Private Butter for Christ! Welcome to the stream. I hope you have brought plenty of delicious butter for us. You just come off a pretty bad cold. Ah, well, I'm glad you're better. That's the important thing. Colds are not pleasant. Even you know, even mild colds. It's more fun to not have a mild cold than a bad one. So So I'm glad you're feeling better. Good to have you on the stream. So, if you haven't picked up from what we're doing, which I'm guessing you probably have, this is Sonic Advance 2. 5 characters. Each character has a different copy of the game. Every time I grab a ring, it switches to a different copy of the game. It's a race. Let's find out which characters are fastest. So far, Tails is in the lead. So, I think it could be an interesting thing to sort of guess on who's going to be first, who's going to be last. I have no idea how long this is all going to take. I still need to test if anyone has... No one has the air dash other than Sonic. Okay, if I just hold right, he's going to hit Robotnik. That's one thing I remember from this, is you have to kind of pay attention to sort of just think about, when I switch into the game that I have to think about, what do I need to be pressing? So right now I just need to be pressing right. And there we go. Another boss down. Knuckles beating another boss there. Another one bites the dust. Knuckles goes on to the next zone, Hot Shelter. And the adventure continues.
3, 2,
Yeah, it's nice to be back doing this again. I've had ideas for other weird, hacky stuff I want to make. I want to do something with the bosses. I found... Well, from looking around, I found the memory location for the boss's health values, and I'd quite like to make a kind of boss rush shuffler, where it switches game every time you hit a boss. That's something I'm quite keen to do, but I've just not been able to fit it in around the other things I want to do, like, obviously this new Play Festival show is my priority at the moment. But maybe in November, once I've got a bit more time after the festival, I'll get start hacking around with that. Because I kind of like the idea. I also think it's something that could be a bit, like, work a bit nicer for like marathons and that. Because the thing with this, I kind of, for speedrunning marathons, is you kind of, there's a couple of reasons. One, it is incredibly flashy screeny, and I can imagine a lot of events not wanting to force that on their audiences. It's also can be quite long, because it's, you know, the satisfaction is, can you beat all the games? But, you know, 4 games in one go can be multiple hours. So, whereas I think the idea of having, like, just the bosses, like, hits on bosses aren't going to come as frequently as collecting rings, so you're not going to get as much of the flashing effect. It's also going to be a kind of a challenge that fits into a shorter space of time. Like, I suspect it wouldn't take longer than an hour but, I mean, I actually don't know, but I suspect it wouldn't take longer than an hour to beat all the, like, the bosses in the first 4 Sonic games with some kind of boss shuffling. So it could be an interesting, a kind of challenge run to make with all the shuffling shenanigans. So that's where my mind's at, but obviously it's a little bit of time before I get to actually knuckle down to that. So, but then, I mean, it's not entirely unfortunate because the time is being spent on making new material for this live show. So, yeah. So, yeah, next weekend, Saturday, 8th of August at 3 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock Hamburg time. That's when I'm going to be testing that material out, and we're going to be having Pokemon battles with characters that we submit in the chat or in advance in the little program I've made. So yeah, but ray tracing with Java, that sounds interesting. Also sounds hard. How are you finding it? I've never really done... Yes and yes. Enjoying it and finding it hard. Well, that's... I don't know, that's the good combination. A challenge that... If it's challenging but interesting, that's the ideal combination, really, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear it. I've never done anything like that before. I've never really done any kind of low-end mathsy graphicsy stuff with programming. I guess I've always been... The stuff I've been doing has always been a bit lower level. But then that's... Yeah, I mean, my degree was in mathematics. Like, programming for me was always a hobby. So, I guess... Most of the programming I learnt because I needed to use it in making a game. So I've never had to worry about, like, technical challenges like that. But it does sound like an interesting, like, in terms of understanding the technology and understanding, you know, making the algorithms efficient, it does sound like an interesting challenge to be doing. The main bottleneck is the frame itself rendering, not calculating the pixels. Interesting. I'm trying to figure out what exactly you mean by that. But just what the process of rendering a frame is what you've got, you know, under a 60th of a second, or minus processing time to blit a bunch of pixels to the screen, or maybe I'm not understanding. But that's, I mean, I'm sure it's one of these problems that's probably a bit long to explain in a Twitch chat. So I appreciate if you can't use any libraries, so you're having to rely on Java's built-in frameworks for showing an image on the screen. I see. Okay, so it's not just calculating from the ray tracing stuff. You're also having to write from scratch how to draw stuff to the screen, I guess. Is that making sense? So yeah, it's not just doing the ray tracing efficiently, it's doing the screen rendering efficiently as well. I think that makes sense to me. And hello Chippy, welcome to the stream. We are playing 5 copies of Sonic Advance 2, the best ring shuffler game in my opinion, where by best I mean most brutal. We're playing it with all 5 characters that are in the game. The big question is, which character is going to beat the game first? And interestingly, the character that I had in mind to be in first place is currently in last place. So, I don't know what that says. Maybe it'll all turn around at some point. I suspect it will. So right now there's 7 zones in the game. We've got 4 characters in Zone 2. We have 1 character, that's Cream the Rabbit, is in Zone 1 still. And yes, the rules, as you may be familiar with them, every time I get a ring it switches game, and in this case it's 5 copies of the same game, but I'm playing as a different character in each copy. So Java provides some high-level libraries for showing images on screen, but there's a lot of overhead, and you lose an additional 7.5 milliseconds each frame because writing the frame happens in the background with an early return. I mean, I feel like, obviously, I mean, you know what it's like on these things, is my, when the screen's flashing so much and I'm concentrating on so many things, my ability to pass, this stuff, I feel like I passed half of it, but I can kind of, I feel like I can picture how that's challenging, so it sounds like an interesting low-level challenge, and I think we're going to get into a bit about why Cream is like possibly going to be the best character in this run, because once I get into Cream, I am hammering the attack button. So I'm basically, Cream does not need to get near enemies to hurt them. She has a what's called the Chow. It's her friend Cream, who's the little blue guy following her around. And Chow just, you press the B button, Chow will home in on the closest enemy, which in this case is in Robotnik. It's Robotnik. I don't even need to get that close to him. There we go. And there we go. We're just pressing the insta-death kill Robotnik button. Kill, defeat. Hello, Sound Defense. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. I'm assuming yes, the Chow's name is Cheese, and it has a little red bow tie. If you look very closely, it has an adorable red bow tie. But yes, yeah, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you got the explanation of what's going on. If you can't figure out what's going on, let me know. I shall recap. But yes, place your bets on who you think's going to finish the game first, and who you think's going to finish it last. I know who my guesses are, but I'm curious to hear what all of yours are. Oh, tech nerding is good. I mean, I love the tech nerding. And yeah, so yeah, rendering a frame takes between 10 and 20 milliseconds, 7.5 to 8.5 letters writing the image to the screen. Because we use multi-threading, you don't have that extra 2.5 milliseconds delay. I get horrible screen tearing. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I've always found is a great virtue is, like, in my work stuff. I mean, like, it's different. So for, like, paid work, I do a lot of web stuff, and you get a lot less resources to work with in a web browser than you do with when you do have the whole computer or whole phone to yourself. But one of the things of making 2D games has always been that the games have always been less demanding than the hardware that they're made for. So I can be really lax with how efficiently everything is done, and then only need to worry about efficiency when there's a problem. Which is one of the nice things about, I guess, making games for yourself, making games for, like, is that the solutions to problems, you don't have to solve everything right. You can do everything hacky, and as long as it's like readable, that's the end goal has been met. So yeah, but it's one of the things. It's like it's the point where programming challenges. It's not just about, can you make something? It's about the problem-solving challenge of, can you figure it out? Can you figure out how to do it efficiently? That's an interesting puzzle. It's like a cryptic crossword or an engineering puzzle. It's like, so it's one of these stuff that I kind of feel like I'm fortunate that I've never had to do, but I can appreciate the joy of the challenge. Cream seems to be at a disadvantage, says Sound Defense. Interesting. If Java didn't limit you to 10 threads, you would truly max out the hardware. Yeah, that's, again, that's, a lot of the paid work I do is for web browsers, and if web browsers didn't have the limitations of being on whatever resources the browser gives you, it would be, I would be able to be even more lax with them. But yeah, so Cream seems to be at a disadvantage. I mean, Cream is at a material disadvantage at the moment from being further behind. I'm kind of betting on Cream's ability to catch up. Because, so having played this in the shuffler before, Cream, so there are two real nasty bits in the game. The first one is bosses, and the second one is grind rails over bottomless pits. Now, Tails and Cream can fly over where the grind rails are, and Cream can kind of insta-hit bosses from a distance. So I'm suspecting Cream is probably going to come first and Tails second. However, I'm willing to be surprised. You're not rooting for Amy. See... Ooh, okay, yeah. My next bet is Sonic for third, because he has the air dash on the bosses, which is useful to catch up with them. And then it's between Amy and Knuckles, because they are basically... On the bosses, they are Sonic without that mechanic. I don't think Knuckles' glide is useful, so... But that's my theory. Knuckles in the lead at the moment. He's the first one to have beaten Act 1 of Hot Shelter. Oh yes, sorry. Thank you, Black Doom, for explaining the differences to Chippy. So yeah, so Knuckles can glide, and this is something that might get him a bit further through the level in the same time it takes. Now, why am I not... I was going to ask, why am I not using this more? I think I've just found out why I'm not using it more. Fortunately, I've got the infinite life switched on. So... Okay, I'm going to glide, but I'm going to, at a certain point, drop when I see rings. There we go. So I miss that enemy. And can I glide again? Maybe if I take a high route, I can avoid a lot of rings. Tails is through Act 1. Keep it coming, Tails. So, in second place, we have Tails. I always feel like I should get the active games thing up above my head to do it, like, because right now it's just showing what games are live. Once characters start beating it, we'll start to see their times appearing up on that part of the screen. So, okay, nothing up there. I kind of feel like if I kept track of which game was in which act, then I'd be able to show, like, an order of who's in the lead and things like that. It was one of the things when I used to do the Eggman stage show, which I've only done a handful of times. It feels funny to say when I used to do the Eggman stage show, because it makes me sound like Sega used to hire me to dress up as Dr. Eggman or something, rather than I came up with a show for a games festival, and it was really fun, so I did it a few more times. But anyway, I used to have this show where I dressed up as Dr. Eggman and got people to compete in sort of weird hacky challenges like this, up on a stage, and I'd get them side by side on the screen, so they'd have two instances of the game running at the same time. And I would keep track of who was in the lead, because I would track the bytes for what level they were on and what their X and Y positions were on, so I could tell who was furthest ahead. So I'd use that as a kind of tiebreaker if neither team beat the challenge and stuff. That was really fun to do. And also there was a lot of really fun kind of hacky stuff in there to make it all work. Like, I wanted to have background music play during the challenges, so I made it so that the ROMs had no music in them, and then had there was this Unity app that I made that showed a kind of screen overlay on top of everything, and it would show you who was in the lead and things like that, and how many points everyone had won. And what that would do is it would check when an act started, and when it did, it would start a music cue. So it would start playing a Green Hill tune or something like that whenever you started the level. And so when a player died, the level would start again, it would detect that, and it would play a new music cue. So you'd start out with Green Hill Zone music, and then someone dies, it starts playing Emerald Hill music. Someone dies again, it starts playing Supersonic Racing. So if you're watching your screen, you can tell how well your opponent's doing by whether or not the music changes. Which I don't know if any contestants noticed, but I noticed, and it was actually really helpful with the kind of, because while people are playing, I'm commentating. And it was actually really helpful with that, because it made a nice dramatic moment. There would always be this kind of silence, and then this gear shift in tone whenever someone died. So there was a kind of gap in the room for people to go, "Aww," and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing that. Yeah, integrate the currently active game. Yes. I wonder if you could make it subtle so that if it just sort of, when it goes active, it lights up a little bit. Or maybe there's like a little Sonic finger on the side which kind of gravitates towards the current game. So when there's a lot of switching, it's just going whoop, 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 up and down the screen. But when it's, when you're, like, in one game, it has time to settle on one character. Now, if anyone can source me a Sonic finger, that would be really helpful. Like, I think if we use, because I want to use all authentic materials here. I don't want to fake any of this. I want the real finger of Sonic the Hedgehog. Authenticity is very important to me. And also figuring out, this is the bit where the level loops. And I remember when I've done this game in previous shufflers, getting stuck for ages on this bit, because I just loop around the same section over and over again. So you want to, like, remember, I'm on grind rails, so don't press any buttons. That's the big thing. I want to source it. I don't know if that's a joke, because I feel like I've talked about this. Sonic finger. I want someone to bring me Sonic the Hedgehog's finger. I'll just borrow it. just borrow Sonic the Hedgehog's finger. I'll give it back to him when I'm done with it, so I can point it at bits of the screen. What part of that does not make perfect sense? And I want to source it. This is... Okay, so I don't know if I've had the source conversation with you before. So if I have... Oh, I'm in the loop. I'm in the loop. The source conversation. So I want to source S-O-U-R-C-E Sonic's finger. I want to get hold of the finger of Sonic the Hedgehog himself so that I can use it as a prop in my streams, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to ask for. The source thing is... So, yeah. I don't know if anyone else has this, or this is going to sound equally bizarre to them. In primary school, so when I was about 9 years old, my teacher was at great lengths to teach the class that there is a difference between the word sauce and source. Like sauce, like tomato sauce, ketchup is a sauce, and the sun is a source of light. Now, to me, those words sound completely different, but depending on which accent you have, like, and I grew up in the southwest of England, if you have a kind of Wiltshire, Bristol, Somerset accent, sauce and source are said and sound the exact same. So, it seems bizarre to me that anyone would get confused by them, between them, but other kids in the class were genuinely getting confused between whether the teacher was saying sauce or source. And I could not fathom why people were genuinely confused. And when people said the sun is a source, and I was like, yeah, as in the sun is a source of light, I thought they were joking. I didn't realize they were genuinely confused. So, and this is something that's stuck with me. It's something that's sort of become a kind of a recent thing, because I've started making phonics-based games for my paid programming work. So the realization that I pronounce stuff funny has been an important realization for me. You're busy making a clip. There's also a meme here. Genuine non-PG imagery posted on sites without the source. People ask for the source. Right. Okay, I've never heard of that, and I've just figured out what you meant by non-PC. Okay, understood. Yeah, no, all I'm looking for is delicious, ketchup or, you know, chili garlic sauce to have with my delicious Sonic finger. I don't know what's weird about that. I just think, because Sonic's finger would taste plain on its own. Thank you for the explanation. I think sometimes I need the internet explained to me. I don't know if I come off as older than I am. Sorry, younger than I am. Sometimes I feel kind of old.
3, 2, 1, go!
But yeah, I feel this has been a useful and fruitful thing. I will know this now. I will be able to make use of this knowledge in future. Particularly when I go for a pizza and they ask me what sauce I want, and I wink at them and they say, "Oh, the sauce," and they're like, "Oh, you're talking about non-PG internet meme things." I've got this all figured out. It's my next pizza adventure. So we have all the characters are in the hot shelter now. Or whatever this level's called. I'm calling it hot shelter. Hot crater, that's what it is. Let me know how that one works out for you. I'll find out. I feel like this is an opportunity to make friends and bond with people. You know, I think every day is an opportunity to make new friends. There's like, I'll just go out to people and say, would you like to know an interesting meme? And then I'll describe it to them verbally. And then they will say, I feel well informed of the current internet shenanigans. Thank you, good sir. And good night. And then they give me a bucket full of soil. And I'm not sure why. I think I'm supposed to plant the first tree to bring the environment back after the apocalypse. But I'm not sure. I think, but that's my plan. I want to be... definitely a monologue to have in the background. Good. Good. Now I'm going to keep it going then. I'll keep it going. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? I'm meant to be going right now. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to make friends in a pizza restaurant for someone who I have intriguingly asked about the source, and then I'm going to tell them all about the latest internet memes, and they're going to go, oh, wow. You really are good at memes. Can you do the meme where what's a good one? Where it's peanut butter jelly time? Can you do the meme where it's peanut butter jelly time? And so I get my maracas because I always carry maracas with me in case anyone asks me to do that. This is not one of the latest internet memes. What? What? Who's the man now? Is someone the man now, dog? Is that still a meme? Tails is dead. Tails is dead because I let him down with my old memes. I'm trying to think there must be some like memes from 1995 or something that are lost to time, but anyone who was really into BBS systems in 1999 will like laugh out loud if you say it. I did that on an advertising stream. Someone typed in that I should start selling internet memes, and genuinely the only ones I could think of were all the Rage comic faces. Yeah, people did comment. I'm not out of touch, it's the children who are wrong. I used to be with it, and then they changed what it is. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what is it is weird and scary to me. Okay, let's just change the pacing. Why do I keep on switching out of... I feel like I'm switching out of Amy all the time. I might have to switch into Amy for some reason. Because Amy has crossed the finish line. Okay, so I'm going to beat Robotnik here. And then... Okay, I'm dead. Let's pause this. See if I can recover. Okay, toggle games and shuffler and switch it so it's just Amy. Oh yeah, I've labeled them all wrong. There we go. Okay, interesting. Amy's having a wild old time. Because as soon as I put in another game, Amy's switching into it. So let's pause the emulation. I might need to do a little bit of hacking. I had this happen to me in Sonic R recently. Let's see what happens if I edit the switch triggers for this. You're busy. You're watching this. This probably looks really exciting to you. I'm just going to add the stepped change event buffer to this, so it needs to have 3 frames behind everything. Save event settings. Let's try and see if this makes any difference. So I think it has. So it just adds a little bit of cooldown between switches. So hopefully collecting a ring will switch me into one of the other games. Okay, I have. I am really glad I built an editor for all the settings into into the BizHawk hat itself. There we go. I'm back in the room. I think it's fair that I was still counting time forward at that point. And there we go. Everybody's awake now. Everything's good. Nothing bad happened. Nothing broke. We're all fine. We're all fine. Now back to what I was talking about. Old fart memes. But yeah, it'll happen to you too. It'll happen to you too. You'll reach a point where you can't keep track of the latest memes. So, okay, so it's this Edgy Time. Is this Cream? I think is only at the end of Act. Oh no, Cream's at the end of Act 2. So Cream is starting to catch up. You're there already. I'm just thinking, I've got a t-shirt with a I've got the Forever Alone character on a t-shirt, which I've had for years. And oh yeah, I keep on forgetting I've got Cream. And I'm just thinking, that's going to be retro soon. That t-shirt is going to be so retro. Oh yeah, don't forget I've got Cream. I'm like Eric Clapton, whatever you say about me, I've always got Cream. I'm pretty sure Eric Clapton was in a band called Cream. Don't think about it too hard, because it wasn't that smart, the comment. Lady and Cat disgusted faces. Oh right, yeah. That should have been something I sold. I know that one. The thing is, I know a lot of memes, but I couldn't, like, during the advertising stream, I was under pressure, and I just couldn't think of any. So for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about by the advertising stream, I do a stream sometimes where I pretend I'm sponsored by anything that chat types in. And so if chat types the word sell, whatever comes after that word will flash up on the screen and become the thing this stream is sponsored by, and I have to start trying to sell it. And yeah, so last time I did it, someone typed in I was selling internet memes. Yeah, I could think of Rage Comics. I think I could think of Not Sure If ... I think I could think of the little boy, like the 5-year-old kid, like raising his fist, like, yeah. Oh god, once Tails is flying, he can't, like, drop out of the air easily, so it becomes an interesting safety move. Oh yeah, and I've got cheese back, and now I've forgotten I had cheese back. Okay, come on, rings. Am I right of rings? No. I know the rings eventually run out. Yeah. You know what meme I really like? I like the one, the two astronauts, where there's one astronaut looking at the Earth, and there's something, like, the Earth has something on it, and there's another astronaut behind him pointing a gun to his head, and it's like, it's always been blank, and the other astronaut saying, always has been. Because it's like, there's one, basically, I find, so, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, what else? Oh my god! Brussels sprouts, they're all the same plant. They're all a brassica. And there was a meme that was one of the astronauts was saying, it's all brassica, and the other astronaut with the gun is saying, always has been. And I like that one. Just joined the internet when those memes were still new. Back then we didn't... See, in my day, we didn't used to have advice. You had to figure everything out from first principles. Right, advice comics of life, mate. That's where I learned everything. Don't need to go to your fancy internet university. Where are the rings? Cream! Smash him up! She can't throw... I don't think she can throw cream while she's flying. That's useful to know. I like that you kind of... Once you do get into the Robotnik, like, battle, you have, like, a second to react. You have to respond so fast because it's so easy to lose the pace. Like, you... Because very often, you switched out of the game while something was coming to get you. Okay, lightning shield, that's always useful. Thing is, in that level, I don't think Tails needs to think too hard, so I'm not too worried. God, rings, thank you. Okay. No. Okay, I got rings. Getting the safety rings. This is what I mean about the bosses of the Great Leveler. There we go. One down. Knuckles in second place. Knuckles is second place coming into Music Factory. Let's have a round of applause for Knuckles. He's in second. Does not like to chuckle. Do not make him chuckle. He really does not like it. He is averse to chuckling.
3, 2, 1, go!
So let's see how far I can glide again. Oh, well, that's an uphill slope, so probably not far there. Don't forget, Tails can fly. I keep on forgetting. I keep on forgetting the characters have powers. Come on, rings. Please, thank you. No! Okay, there we go. There we go. Cream is in third place, coming through to Music Plant. 2 zones down, 5 to go. Let's have a round of applause for Cream. Hello, Cream. Waving at us all. Meanwhile, Amy and Sonic languishing behind. This is like a weird version of Sonic R. Where all your favorite Sonic characters are racing. Who's going to come in first? Well, let's enjoy this flying that I've barely made any use of. It might be that the characters just don't have a massive amount of free space to jump, like to fly or glide or things, so actually they're mostly just running. But I think the bosses is probably going to... Well, no, the grind rail sections later is going to make a lot of difference. Okay, Amy is still at the loop bit. Amy is way behind. Okay, I mean, Amy did get stuck on the finish line for a while, so that probably explains part of it, why Amy's a little bit behind. Although she was a bit behind coming out of Zone 1. Okay, let's see how far we can fly. Just kind of hovering. Oh. Good, there we go. So, next time we go to Amy, we want to use her stunt. There we go. I don't know what that's supposed to be called. I always call it a, like, stunt of, like, air action. I don't know what it's supposed to be called, but... Tricks. That's what I always call them. I call them tricks, because it's like it's like in Tony Hawk's or something. You come off the rail and then you do a trick. So, and you need, as far as I can tell, you need to do a trick to get out of that loop. Otherwise, if you keep on going right, you'll end up... And I'm not pressing any buttons. I'm keeping my hand in the air because I don't want to press any buttons while Amy's on the grind rail. Because if I do, she's going to fall down and then have to do that whole loop again. So, Sonic onto the boss now. Getting some delicious, delicious rings. So I got a hit in. The important thing is that I got rings. Being on 0 rings, well, I mean, it's going to be hard to end up on 0 rings unless I've got to lose them and get hurt, which happens a lot, so ignore everything I'm saying. There we go. The air dash is so useful for Sonic, like, to get... This is a move I didn't know about until I was playing this game on a live stream. I'd beaten the game without it, but had no idea it was there. And it is so useful on the bosses. I mean, it's not useful if I just use it to pelt myself straight into the line of fire, but that's a kind of strategy. So now concentrating again, and there we go. Another couple of hits in. Sonic seems to be quite good at that boss. Which is making me feel he might be faster. He might catch up with Tails and Knuckles. We'll let him get some rings. Stats are making it look like the frame rate is, like the bit rate is dropping quite frequently at the moment. I don't know what's causing that. Oh god, that was bad of me. I shouldn't have. That was me looking at my bit rate. It seems quite finicky at the moment. I wonder if I should try changing the resolution or something. I mean, let me know if it's like if the stream is patchy to you at home. Because if it is, I can maybe reduce the resolution. Because I just caught a glimpse of my bitrate kind of dipping. Like usually it's around 6,000 kilobits per second, but it sort of seems to be frequently dipping below that into like 5,000 or even 4,000, which is weird. I don't know what the actual impact of that is on the stream, so yeah, just let me know if the stream is looking unsightly. Am I back in the loop? No, I'm not. I feel like my internet has been really quite, like, has been a little bit unpredictable this weekend. Like, I've had a couple of moments where it suddenly dipped. So, anyway, well, I mean, remember, this is Sonic and Tails don't need no internet. They've got everything they need right here in video game world. So I should think more like them. Also, yeah, I did manage to throw Cream into a pit in this level, didn't I? So I think I need to be careful about bottomless pits starting about now. I threw someone into a bottomless pit, I can't remember who it was. Because otherwise I've been able to be, apart from the bosses, I've been able to be fairly mindless so far. But this might be the level where that starts needing to change. Okay, I'm definitely on a grind rail. So this is, once I'm on grind rails, is when I need to start worrying about, like, avoiding jumping if I can. Because if I'm jumping when I get a ring, and I end up in another game where I need to not be jumping, like I'm on a grind rail, then that's going to cause me to fall off the grind rail, and that's a problem. Ooh. Oh, ran straight into a bomb. There we go. I can't remember which character died in this level. It's just making me think, I need to start being a bit more careful. I can't just kind of zone out during music plant. Okay, I'm gonna get that thing. Cheese, go, 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 go! Cheese, okay, he's not good to go until I stand still. Cheese, thank you. Don't forget to say your cheese and thank yous. Okay. Let's keep this flying train going. Skip over stuff if I feel like I need to. I think this is the end of the level. One more level down. Very happy Fox. I think Tails is the first, is still in the lead. I don't think anyone's beaten any levels in Music Plant yet, so it's good pace for Tails. Good pace for Tails, yes, it's a very good pace for Tails. Oh, it's time to play as Tails and grab a lot of rings and win the game. Amy's still lagging behind. Oh wow. Oh wow, that was very... Oh, good checkpoint. I just did a trick right into that enemy there. Which is an interesting strategy. There we go. Sonic gets through to Music Plant. Well done, Sonic. 4th place at the moment. Good work, Sonic. Keep it going.
Three,
2, 1, go! Yeah, feeling like I'm making good progress today. No idea how long it's going to take to get to the end of the game. That's part of the fun of the experiment. But I do, yeah, I do really like... I'm kind of keen to do another big shuffler thing again. So, whatchamacallit, sorry, just making a little note for myself. It would be nice to do another one. So one thing that I did a while back, I think this was actually the last stream that I did, was Sonic R, where I tried to get, I needed to get all the Chaos Emeralds in 4 copies of the game. That was the plan. I was going well. I still reckon I can do that. But I need to... Well, I had to... Basically, it got into the thing where it wouldn't... it was kind of switching out of one of the games as soon as it switched into it. So I needed to fix that. And I did. And then I haven't had time to do that again since. But I reckon I would like to see how long it would take to get... all 7 Chaos Emeralds in all the tracks in Sonic R, but like at the same time. So it's like you have to keep on getting first place. If you don't have first place in one of the games, you lose first place in that game. Because otherwise you would kind of sort of ignore one of the games until you had a Chaos Emerald and stuff like that. I want to make it impossible to ignore you. You have to be playing them all at once. You have to be trying in all 4 copies of the game. So that's something I want to try out. But yeah, now I'm keen to, once I got a bit of time to fiddle around with this, trying to build this boss shuffler. I think that will be a lot of fun to stream sometime once I've got the opportunity to spend time on that. hope everyone's been enjoying... We've had nice sunny weather here today. I went outside for a walk and I saw some goats. So that was exciting. Okay, is this a bottomless pit? No, it's not. Okay. Another death pit. But yeah, I live near where there are some goats. So it takes maybe 20 minutes for me to walk to a point where I can see some goats. And that is... that's really nice. So I got to have a goaty afternoon, got to see some goats. Oh, that was some good movement there. I was happy with that. Land and roll into the wee enemy. Oh, come on. So, I'm getting the feeling that Amy might be our slowest character today. Amy definitely has the fewest tools to deal with the bosses. I mean, the hammer does give her a little bit of extra reach. So she's got that going for her. That's a useful thing in her arsenal. But the rest of it, not doing so great. So because she doesn't have the air dash like Sonic, so she can't catch up with the bosses as easily. So you get less flexibility on when you can hit it. Did I just throw... I threw Knuckles into that pit. That was all me. That was all me. I'm seeing myself getting a lot of drop frames, so what I am going to try doing is switching my output. Let's see. Can I change video? I can't change the resolution while I'm streaming. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to assume it's not affecting anyone. But if it does look choppy or anything, like, let me know and I can try switching down to 720p or something. I'm getting 10% lost frames, it's telling me, which sounds like a lot. That sounds like a lot of frames to lose. Okay, Amy, get a hit in. No, no, that wasn't what I was going for. Let's try again. I feel like I'm having to start concentrating a bit more than before. At the beginning of the stream, I was all chat. Like, just, you know, proper motor mouth, non-stop chatter. And now I'm, like, really having to think about it. Let's get Tails up this hill. Shield could be useful, stops me dropping rings. Oh, I was really worried that was going to be a bottomless pit. Okay, that was a checkpoint I'd already hit. That's odd. I think you can kind of tell by the music, and still think Tails is the only person who's got into Act 2 in this zone. That's annoying because that's a really good angle I've got on him. A really good angle on Robotnik there. And I have to remember to keep on holding right for it. I guess that's all I need to do, is just keep on holding right and don't kill Knuckles. Because I want to land that hit on Robotnik, but to do it, I need to be keeping on holding right. If I press anything else, it would take me out of that trajectory I need Amy to be in. I think it's the same now. I need to keep on holding right. That's where a lot of the challenge comes in this, is remembering, like, okay, in one of these games, there is a button I need to be pressing. And so I need to make sure I'm pressing that button every time I get a ring, because it could switch into that other game that I'm concentrating on and mess me up. So Cream moving up into second place now.
3, 2, 1, go!
Let's keep the Cream going. I can't remember what I need to be doing with Amy now. It seems so long ago. Okay, no jumping, just right. Just holding right. If I'm collecting rings, I'm holding right. Because I do not want Knuckles to fall off of that thing. I like doing these delicate little taps on the jump button, because I don't want to mess Knuckles up. And meanwhile, just pressing right because I need Amy to be pressing right. I think Amy might have got all of those rings on her copy of the game. It's good, that's another hit, another hit. I got hit, that's fine. Rings, thank you. Hold right. Oh, I got 2 hits in there, that's nice. I'm happy with 2 hits. I feel like Knuckles has been in this exact location multiple times. I saw him plummeting towards that hole and was like, oh god, no, this is going to be the same hole again. I'm really fearful I'm just going to make Knuckles do the same, like, plummet to his doom in the same way multiple times. So let's get him to glide over here. Let's hope that that's safer. And then abseil down. Okay, I think that was safe. I'm not sure that was the smartest idea. Knuckles does stop gliding when you release the jump button, I think. So I kind of need to be careful. If I'm gliding as Knuckles, I need to remember that I'm doing that. I like Tails' little pose there. Oh god, this is going to be a death hit. No. Okay. Please be the end of the act. Yes! Alright. They are still close. Yeah, they are still close to each other. I'm expecting that's going to... What's the sky level? The sky level's zone 5, isn't it? I think that's going to be when we're going to start seeing some separation between them. Because I think that's the first one that becomes brutal. I think. But I'm not 100% on that. But Amy's finally through into Music Plant, so we have all 5 characters are in Music Plant now. All 5 characters are in the 8th zone. So that's pretty exciting. Let's keep the adventure going. The Sonic Adventure.
2, 1, go!
It will be interesting, though, that if I end up in bottleneck kind of moments, like those really scary moments where I need to, there's like a very specific thing I need to not do wrong. I wonder if we might, like, start to see, like, it might be different to previous times where I'd be switching, because I keep on switching into the bit that's difficult, and it's the same difficult bit for all 5 characters. So it might be kind of easier to get through them because I get a bit more practice. I need to be holding down the jump button for Knuckles now, because I need him to fly into that wall. And holding right. I'm holding right and jump. Just so... Oh. Because I need Knuckles to be flying. Oh, God. Maybe I just give up on Knuckles flying. Alright, okay, I could have sworn there was a death pit there. I think I'm just getting paranoid. So you're betting at least 2.5 hours. I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, in terms of how far through the game we are, we're at roughly the 1/3 mark, I think, in terms of distance traveled within the game. However, the difficulty ramps up. That's I think where it's going to get interesting. The difficulty is going to ramp up at some point. It is interesting, though, that, like, this, like, has stopped seeming weird to me. Like, and I think I've commented on it before, that, I'm just... Can I change... No, I can't change my frame rate either. Oh, well.
3, 2, 1, go!
But yeah, so I am seeing my bitrate drop down really low. I'm going to just very quickly